Hi, friend. One of the reasons that I have not discussed the FCC seizing control of so much of the internet is because I don't understand it. And I refuse to use this TV show for me to just shoot from the hip. I'm not going to do it. Now, what I will do right now is I'm going to read to you the headlines that are on the front page of Drudge as of this exact second, okay? FCC chair refuses to appear before Congress ahead of internet takeover. Left groups now fear government net grab going too far. Soros cash behind push. Plan could lead to UN takeover of the internet. Boy, there's a hot button. The UN taking over the internet and George Soros pushing with his cash. This sounds really dark. The commissioner, quote, independence of agency has been compromised. Next one, lawless. Next one, net neutrality tweaked after Google push. Historic vote set for today. So, and here's one other headline. FCC Commissioner Ajit Pai, sounds like an Indian name perhaps, net neutrality is a solution that won't work to a problem that doesn't exist. Now, this is an FCC commissioner. There are 5 members of the commission. They are all appointed. They are all unelected. Now, one of the reasons that I have not been able to get much detail about what is going on is because the reporting on it has been so shoddy. There's just barely any details out there, at least that we've been able to find. What we do know is that President Obama wants these regulations, all right? So Congress said to Wheeler, we want you to testify before you release hundreds of pages of new regulations that no one got to see, no one got to vote on. We want to ask you some questions about your interfacing with the White House. Are you at the beck and call of Obama right now? Are you doing this at his behest? It also appears that there's going to be taxes, that Netflix is going to have to pay Comcast or other internet providers to make sure that they have the speed that they want. But when you have one of the commissioners saying a solution that won't work to a problem that doesn't exist, and you have Obama saying that the FCC has got to have these regulations because it's the only way that it will stand up to court muster, then it looks to me like there is the seizing of American freedom and that there's going to be taxes. This somehow has to do with money and control, all right? Money and control. That's Obama. That's socialism, all right? Money and control. I'm going to close this segment and then move on to other stuff. It will all come out over the next few days when the regulations are finally publicly released and people have a chance to pore over them like they pored over Obamacare. Remember, they voted on Obamacare before they read it. We'll get a chance ultimately. But I'm going to say some things here that this is food for thought. I'm going to kind of bring a whole bunch of little issues together. There was a poll that came out 2 or 3 years ago in which 42% of Americans said that it was likely that we were going to need a revolution, shooting bang bang revolution, to restore our constitutional rights. That's a terrifying number. Now that was a private poll. People were allowed to keep their anonymity, and they spoke honestly. So when you walk down the street, 4 out of the 10 people that you see, or 3 out of 10, believe that a shooting war, a shooting revolutionary civil war is going to be needed to restore our constitutional liberties. That's terrifying. Add to that Homeland Security is buying these huge armored vehicles. Homeland Security is buying millions and millions and millions of rounds of ammunition. and making it difficult for American citizens to buy ammunition because the the ammo manufacturers can't keep up with the orders because so many rounds have been purchased by Homeland Security. Add to that the words of John F. Kennedy. If you make peaceful protest impossible, you make violent protest inevitable. I think it was either JFK or Robert Kennedy. It was during the civil rights uprisings and peaceful protest and violence. If you make peaceful protest impossible, you make violent protest inevitable. There are people who believe in this poll that there's going to be a shooting Revolutionary War. I don't agree with them because I think that the American populace is so outgunned by the federal government. What could happen would be state governors or local sheriffs, county sheriffs pushing back to the federal government, and then for there to be isolated pockets of bloodshed or people snapping. I mean, you've got the head of the FCC saying he won't appear before Congress. He literally won't appear and testify about what's going on. I mean, who does he think he is? Who does he think he is? He's not elected, and he won't submit to those that are elected and have oversight of the FCC. I mean, do we live under a dictatorship? We've got this elite Supreme Court telling us what to do, usurping the rights of states to define marriage. 37 states now have said you can have two people of the same gender be married, but it wasn't voted on by American people. Every time the American people vote, they say no. So we've got these dictators, these gods that walk among us, these tyrants, these unelected, unaccountable, pejorative, that are taking us into slavery, oppression, child killing, godless perversion. I hope that the poll is not right. We have the ability at the ballot box, but I think that there's one other element that could happen, and that's random violence. I think that random violence is going to come as a result of where we're headed, because there's going to be people that get so frustrated. I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm not calling for it. I hope it doesn't happen. But I think that it's going to. I do. I think that you're going to push people so far, they're going to snap. They're just going to snap. And somebody is going to think it's their patriotic duty to bring physical harm to somebody that they deem to be a tyrant. It's on the record now. We'll see if I need to pull this out of the archive someday in the future. God have mercy on us. And God have mercy on Wheeler and Obama and the cowards in Congress who won't stop these lawless tyrants from the path that they are on. Mitch McConnell is a pillar of jello. John Boehner is an accomplice. I'll be back in a minute.
Hey, everyone's been asking me, when's Unstoppable coming out on DVD? Well, it's here. And I have created my own deluxe signature version of Unstoppable that contains not only the movie, but over 5 hours of additional curriculum and study guides for your family. It's perfect for your homeschool, educational facility, small group Bible study, and family devotions. And I'm going to share with you some of the spiritual warfare that surrounded the release of this film. This box set also includes extended scenes, new music videos, the inside scoop on the whole Facebook controversy. So what are you waiting for? I made this special version with my family in mind, and I know your family will be blessed by it too. Unstoppable 2.0 Deluxe Signature Version, available only here at kurtcameron.com. I can't wait for you to experience what's inside.